Welcome to Dance Studio Owner Life Coaching. This is Ginger, and today I want to talk about 5 lessons I learned at recital time this year. Now, I had my show in the end of June, and it was a really cool opportunity for me to reflect and enjoy on all the things that our studio has done to wrap up the year at the end of the school year when the kids are done, and to celebrate with the parents and the students. And I really felt particularly proud this year because out of the entire recital, there was only one piece that I choreographed. So you might be wondering why I'm so happy that I only choreographed one piece. And that's because it's a reminder to myself of the things that I've done to rearrange my studio and delegate to my amazing staff all the things that are involved to make it successful. And when I see that so much of what is created has been created by my amazing staff, it is a reminder and confirmation that I've made the right choices, that I've decided to step back from feeling like I need to teach everything, I need to choreograph everything, I need to manage everything. I trust and empower my staff to create and align with the vision of the studio, and they did an incredible job. What I want to do today is talk about the 5 lessons I learned that I want to share with you because I think they're important and they could help you along your journey as you plan next year's shows. Maybe it's for the winter, spring, competition teams, whatever it is. So, the first thing that I learned and I continue to feel confirmed in is that less is more. I've said it before on the podcast that there is real power in subtraction. So many times we try to add more things to our business, more things for us to do, more processes, more software. And when you subtract, there's a lot of great things that happen. So you find ways to reduce stress, to reduce the amount of loading and unloading. And we were actually able to unload into our theater in a matter of 60 minutes. We were able to pack up at the end of the show in about 15 to 20 minutes. And sure, I have a good sized staff. We have 17 people, plus we have volunteers. But the thing that made it so simple and easy is we just didn't bring a whole bunch of things that we didn't need to bring. We really narrowed down all the things that actually needed to be there versus we were just kind of bringing things to bring them. One of those things was acromats. We used to perform like the younger kids with acromats on stage. And it was, it's big, it's bulky. You need the right kind of vehicle to transport the mats on the stage and everything. But the truth of the matter is they didn't need them. In the final months before the show, we had the students practice in studio without their mats to get used to the feeling of not being on acromats anymore. And they did a great job. And we are not turning around and doing that again. It was a huge, huge help not to have to transport acromats. One of the other things that we did is we reduced and kind of lessened the logistics. We went through as a staff and thought about what are some things that we're doing that we can improve on. And one of the things that came up year after year that we had to kind of address was issues with communication. Now, our theater does not provide comms. We don't have a way to talk to the booth, the stage, and the backstage area. And so for us, what we decide to do is each year is to financially invest in something that makes our lives easier. We got a new walkie-talkie solution that's designed for warehouses, indoor spaces, that doesn't have issues getting through walls and things like that. And it was a huge help. So definitely, if you have not considered it already, consider investing in just one new piece of technology, a tool, whatever it is that you need to improve your process for your performances. The second lesson is that we lean on volunteers to supplement the staff. The staff are amazing, but oftentimes your staff is kind of there for you for classes one at a time. When you're in the situation when you have more students than staff and you're not able to keep your ratio, You can lean on volunteers, whether they're alumni, former staff, if you have a good relationship with them, or even some dance parents. We open it up to about 6 dance parents each year to volunteer for the show. Now, of course, they apply and we select who we'd like. And we control, it can't just be anyone. We run background checks and all of that. But it's really important because it not only helps you reduce the stress and the strain on your staff, but it also helps parents to appreciate all that goes on behind the scenes. They love getting involved, and for them, it pays back dividends because now they can really appreciate not only what their student is doing, but what the staff does to make things run smoothly. Um, Now, on that same kind of vein, I want to mention that I have found that literally every performance, at least one of the adults, whether it's staff or volunteers, they cannot come on the day of the show. We find out at the last minute and it's a struggle and they are just not able to come. So what I do is I say we're always going to staff one more person than we actually need. Front of house, we always have an extra person than we actually need. Backstage, always have one more person than we actually need. And that makes it so much easier when someone calls out sick or they had a sudden, car accident or something. You have that extra person to reduce the stress on yourself for your performance weekend. My third lesson is to always have a backup. This is similar to what I was just mentioning, right? Have a backup. We have a stage manager, my director of operations. She does amazing job. But I said to her, we can't have everything be on you. What if you need to not be there one year? And so we started to train up additional staff who can fill in that role and do it well. So at this point now, we have 2 or 3 people at our studio who can run the show. They can call the numbers, get things on deck, communicate with the booth, and everything will run smoothly. That puts us in a position of not only sustainability and growth, but it protects us in case things happen. In fact, one year, her baby was born when our show was occurring and we were able to run the show without her there. So think about always having a backup. In addition to stage managers, many of you already know to have a backup for your music. For some reason, the laptop that we brought our music on, it would not play certain songs. We couldn't figure it out. It was just epic. What we had was a backup iPad that had all the songs on it as well. And a backup of that was all the songs on Google Drive, organized neatly so we could share it with the AV tech. Always have a backup for yourself to avoid mishaps. Next, I want to talk about number 4, which is your shows are so much fun to share. Have your friends and other studio owners come to your show. Now, I attended another studio owner show and she attended mine. And actually, I did that with a couple of my friends. I had friends from 2 other cities here in New Jersey attend my show. And it's so fun to see your friends, of course, but it's also fun because nobody's going to appreciate a dance recital like a dance teacher. Have them come and you go to their shows, and what you will find is one, a sense of joy and pride in this industry. But 2, you'll also be able to get ideas from each other to inspire each other, talk about different ways that you handle similar issues. And it's really, in my opinion, solid gold. My last lesson in recital season is recapping and celebrating with your staff. So when you recap, you just simply write down what went well, what were the challenges, and what you might want to change or keep for the next show. Always document that, save it. We keep it in Google Drive. And when you do that, you're able to continue to build on your successes year after year, show after show, and go from good to great. You also want to make sure you celebrate. Some of you give gifts to your staff. Maybe it's personal thank you notes, going out for a meal, whatever it is. Think of ways to celebrate and pause in that moment for what you've created and what you've accomplished. When we were at dinner, we took out our staff to a diner afterwards. When we went out, I went and I told them, I was so thankful for them. I appreciate them, thanking them for what they've done. I asked them for their feedback, what went well, what was funny, what was annoying. And my favorite part, I told my leadership team to log out of our customer relationship manager software for the rest of the weekend. I said, don't check the emails, don't check the phone calls, the text messages, the social media. Log out of everything and just bask in the moment. We don't need to hear feedback yet. We don't need to hear about what's happening with our summer programs yet. Just embrace and enjoy where you are so that it doesn't get lost to the next thing, right? You do not want to rush and change things in a way so quickly that you don't appreciate what you've already done. You've created an amazing opportunity for your dancers, for your audience, and for yourself. So celebrate in that. If today's episode resonated with you and you're curious about how life coaching could support your journey as a dance studio owner, I'd love to chat with you. There's no pressure, just an opportunity to explore whether coaching might be a good fit for where you are right now. I offer complimentary discovery calls where we can talk about your current challenges, your vision for your studio, and see if working together feels like the right next step. Whether you're dealing with overwhelm, looking to grow your business, or wanting to rediscover your passion for what you do, these conversations are designed to give you clarity and insight. To schedule your discovery call, simply visit my website at gingerheathcox.com. I'm here to support you in creating the dance studio and the life you truly want. Thanks for listening, and remember, you've got this.